Hey Aries, it's Tasha, aka Mama Jim, aka Jim the Butterfly, and I'm here with your May 2016 general monthly forecast. I've already taken the time to pre-shuffle the deck, and I have your cards, and let's get into it. I'm excited to see what type of energies that week, because I am in Aries rising, and this is for Aries sun, moon, and rising. I'm interested to see what type of energy we have coming in for the month of May. Okay, let's see. For your general energy for the month of May, you have the Page of Cups. Your challenge for the month is the Six of Pentacles. Any underlying thoughts of what's going on in your subconscious is the Temperance card. What has happened in the past that has brought you to this present situation, is the Three of Wands. What's currently going on with you in your mind's not subconsciously, I'm sorry guys, in your conscious mind is the Eight of Pentacles. And you guys, out of everybody that I did for the generals, and yeah, out of the generals, you the ones that had the two, we have two outcome cards. Let me see, I have to put them together for us. Let's see what here they are. Wait a minute. The Ace of Wands and the Six of Swords. Okay, so what I feel for the general energy for this month is a lighthearted, it's going to be a lighthearted energy over the month of May for my Aries, for my Rams. This is a time that we need to be getting out and having some fun, enjoying life. I feel like, I feel like skipping ahead, looking at what's going on in the conscious mind. The conscious mind is, we're focused on money, we're focused on the job, focus on our craft, focus on bettering. You're focused on bettering yourself. Being the best person that you can be. Trying to gain some type of order in your life, in and around your life, particularly around finances. And it could be education too. I feel like some of my Aries are deciding that, you know what, I'm going back to school. You may be signing up for the Maymester. I don't know, do they still do Maymester? You have to let me know, the ones who know. Or maybe deciding, I'm getting your paperwork together so you can start school for the summer semester. But you're gearing yourself up. So what I feel with May is telling you, before this time starts, where particularly the ones that are starting school, have a little bit of fun. All right, don't be so hard on yourself. Aries can be very driven and very passionate about their goals, and I feel like sometimes you end up having tunnel vision. You get so involved in what you're doing, you forget about the outside world. You may be doing that now. The Page of Cups is telling you to lighten up just a little bit, have a little bit of fun, boo. Okay. As a challenge, again, with the challenge, make sure that you are doing your fair share in and around the house, in and around at your job. Again, you tend to get so focused that you neglect other people, the people that are closest to you. Make sure that you're not neglecting anybody because you've just been, engulfing yourself in your studies or just doing a lot of research. I feel like you got some people around you who miss you, maybe even a child. That, your own child, Aries, that just is like, you always working all the time. You never have any time for us. We don't ever get to do anything. It's dry. It's boring. It's whatever. So you got to make sure you put in that extra time. But I feel like for you, you know this, but this is another card with balance, with temperance. It's like you recognize that you need to take some time off, but again, it's I feel like it's hard for you to do so because you don't want to get off track. Um, but on the flip side, from a physical aspect, I feel like this temperance card is telling you that you definitely, from a physical aspect, you don't want to overdo it. Okay. Um, and even with money, when I see the Six of Pentacles here, it's just letting me know that you are actively working to save your money up and to grow, to build your nest egg. But I kind of feel like this is I feel like I'm hearing that, yeah, it's good, but there are some trade-offs, and you actually have what you need to pay what you need. So you don't have to work so hard because you think you have to, but you really don't. That's a part of the challenge, is to actually see that, you know what, the money, I feel like your money situation isn't as bad as what you think it is, in a sense. That, or it could just be the fact that you're working so hard that you actually can lay off just a little bit so you can devote more time to more lighthearted things, or devote more time to your children. Okay. I'm just looking, guys. Give me a second, please. Because there was something I was going to tell you. Now it slipped my mind. Maybe it'll come up later. So what's led you up to this, and from the past up until now, is the Three of Wands, and that's just you making that determination that determination. You making that declaration to yourself that you want more out of life. You're just tired of living the way that you're living. You kind of felt like you were in a place where you were settling, and you're like, you know what, I want more, and I deserve more, and I'm going to get more. So you set out on this metaphorical journey to better yourself. And you know that you can do it. That's the thing about it. Like, I don't see you doing anything that you don't think that you can accomplish. You will go off and do things. I sound like I'm contradicting myself. There are in certain instances that where you will just jump out there and just try it. But I feel like what you're encountering now, what you're embarking on right now, require you to know that, you know what, there was an end goal that you can actually reach. And so since you decided to embark on it, you are definitely focused on it. But I feel like, you get tunnel vision, and you close yourself off to the outside world, because you want to achieve, and you guys are we're perfectionists. We want things to be right because we take it very personally, in a sense, when it doesn't go the way that we wanted it to go. But I feel like it's telling you again to just lighten up. It has to be a balance. You have to understand that there has to be a balance between, the time that you spend with other people and the time that you spend with yourself. It has to be a balance, as opposed to what you're doing versus what you're thinking. Because right now, I think you're just you're doing. You really need to take this time to reassess what else is next for you, what's coming in. Because what's coming in, you have energy. You don't have to worry about feeling depleted with energy. You have energy with the Ace of Wands and creativity. Your creativity is about to be sparked up even more than what it is now. But I feel like this is you coming up with ways to establish a better work-life balance, or work-home balance between you and your family. I feel like this is also another way for you to get more creative with how you handle your finances. Because, like I said earlier, you're working, trying to save up money, thinking that people, everybody has their own ideology when it comes to money. But I feel like for a certain number of my Aries out there, like I see a squirrel, like you're packing, like you're trying to be almost like a pack rat. You're overextending yourself, and you're working, and it's good to have money onto the side, but I feel like at the rate that you're going, you're not even going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Um, Before you know it, you'll work so hard that life has passed you by, and what you thought that you were trying to reach has passed you, and you're just still working. You haven't accomplished anything. So I feel like it's definitely time for you to stop and take a break and smell the roses, and move into a more grounded place. You guys feel very I see I have two wands here and two cups. No, I'm sorry. Two wands, two pentacles. Temperance is represented by fire, but we have fire and water here. And you have a sword card. So it kind of makes me feel like your thought patterns are they're going to be changing. Like what you thought at the beginning of the month was so important to you, it still will be important by the end of the month, but you're not going to place as much focus on it. You're going to lay back from it just for a little bit. It's time for you to calm your mind a little bit. Like I see like little worker bees. When I see the Eight of Pentacles, like you just working. People trying to come, like maybe your kids coming to talk to you, like, hey, your conversations are very short. You may not even be given, it may not even be kids, maybe just your spouse or whatever. I feel like somebody's opening the door and peeping into the room, and you're just working so hard, and they just ask you, like, you want something to drink? You want me to fix you something to eat? And you're not even looking up to answer them. You're like, yeah, can you get me such and such? And they bring it to you, and they close the door, and the next time they see you, you're yawning, and it's time for you to get into bed. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you are giving to yourself, but you need to make sure that you're giving to other people, because I feel like there's somebody around you that really needs it. So let's look at, they need your attention. All right. They respect what you're doing, but I feel like they need your presence, okay? All right. So let's look at your Mercury retrograde cards. Just keep in mind that Mercury went into retrograde on April 28th. The pre-shadow period started on April 14th. Mercury will then go direct on May 22nd. But then, for some of my Aries, you may be experiencing the energy of Mercury going retrograde all the way up until June the 7th, once the shadow period ends. So these two cards were just drawn to give you some places of focus of where you may want to take the time to go back and review, reassess, reevaluate. I don't know why I can't ever say that word. Reevaluate certain aspects of your life and see how that they are impeding or enhancing your spiritual growth. Okay. Your first card is, and it's interesting, I was led to draw two cards because my intention was only to draw one, but good old Aries, we have two. So the first one is completion. And the other one is guilt. Both of these are actually tied to your not crown chakra. I'm looking at her halo. Both of these are tied to, associated with your sacral chakra. And when I see these two cards together, like I told you, in the future, what you're working towards, the universe is about to gift you that energy and that creativity, those ideas that you've been looking for. You've been working. Yes, you've been perfecting. But it's time for, it's going to be soon that some new energy is going to come in like a breath of fresh air to keep you going. So I feel like you keep feeling like you have to work towards that goal, what you need to realize is I feel like it's coming to you whether you work really hard at it or not. I mean, of course, the universe respects hard work, but you are being gifted with some new ideas anyway. Okay, and I feel like with these new ideas coming in with the completion and the guilt is you're going to be understanding how to take things, how to go with the flow. I'm talking about go with the flow and allow things to complete on their own. Because I feel like, again, you've been trying to complete it. You've been working solo and you want to do it all by yourself. And you're rushing towards a goal, but I don't feel like this is a goal that, again, that you don't have to rush towards. You're going to complete it. Okay, you're almost there. You're at the 8. You're at 8 of Pentacles. You're almost to a 10. You're going to complete the cycle. So you look at ways that I'm trying to get my words right, y'all. I feel like it's telling you, look at ways that you can learn how to celebrate yourself in the present and in the future. And don't get so caught up in completing the goal, like trying to reach the goal. Be okay with being in the process and experiencing yourself within the process as you go through the process. Be present, okay? Also look at ways, because I feel for some of you too, you know that you need to be spending more time with family and friends, or you just need to be coming out of your shell and reconciling certain situations, making things better. Be careful about, again, engulfing yourself in your work so much that, like I said earlier, you may not have anything to show for it because you just been so busy you hadn't even been. It's like you had blinders on. You're not even looking. There's a potentiality for guilt here. Thinking I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You don't want to. You want to be careful about falling into that mind frame of guilt, or falling into like you see that chain? She has a chain on her wrist. Like she's bound to do that. Like she's a slave to housework. And I see that when I see this 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, I said it in my Pisces reading. I love how all 3 of these decks end up resonating for this monthly reading for May 2016. It's been amazing. I've been getting chills every time when I see how they just resonate so well. It is when I see this card, she feels like, this is the right thing to do. To be the Susie homemaker, ironing and clothes. And I think probably somewhere in the back she has vodka back here. She just wants to sit down and drink. But she makes herself get up and go do her angelic motherly duties because she feels like this is what she's supposed to do. And I feel like in some extent that's how you feel, Aries, as if this is what you're supposed to do and you're supposed to get it right and you're supposed to work so hard and blah 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 blah. But really, that is just I feel like that's tied to your ego in a sense, that you give into what you think you're supposed to be doing, or giving into what is expected of a particular image that we try to portray. But no, it's actually the opposite. You don't buy into this I have to have this certain amount of money in my bank account. I have to have this type of job. I have to have all of these things completed by this time. Or you're gonna feel guilty if you didn't do it. I have to do this, all of this for my kids. I have to do all of this for my job. I have to do all of this for my husband. I have to do all of this for my best friend. And if I don't do it, then I'm gonna feel guilty because this is what they are expecting of me to do. No, don't buy into that guilt. Don't buy into that guilt. Don't Yeah, don't buy into that guilt. You have to know how to just back away from some of this stuff. Know how to slow down, my booze. The Eight of Pentacles, the energy of the Eight of Pentacles is kind of slow. It's a little slow, but it's steady. Okay? And I think that's the thing that you guys have to remember in this reading, that what you're accomplishing, you're not going to finish it any quicker if you just on it all day. Whatever this is, this could be like I said, we're going to use school as an example because I feel like a lot of you are going back to school. For some of you, you do have great work, great study habits, but you engulf yourself so much that you forget about the outside world. We all know when you're in college, you're on a set schedule. You have to take certain with certain classes. Certain classes are only offered in the fall, and you need that particular class to graduate. Or these classes are not. Whoever's taking these classes, they're not self-guided. They're fitting. They're on a time schedule. So I feel like for some of you, you're keeping your head in the books, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let me stress that there's nothing wrong with that. But you keep your head in the book so much as if studying so much is going, or studying and is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, studying and being so focused is going to get you to your graduation date quicker. No, it's not. It's not going to get you through the course quicker. It's not going to get you to your graduation date quicker. It's not going to get you to your job, your new job once you graduate any quicker. It's not going to get you there. It'll get you some knowledge. Yes, you will get knowledge from this. But where you are within the journey, you're not going to get there before it's time for you to get there. I don't see it how in some like high schools or whatever, you'll be able to graduate early. I'm just trying to put it in context for people to understand. I don't feel like this is a thing of even if you were to take a full load, and I feel like for a lot of you, this is not you being a full-time student. This is an add-on. Okay, you're going to school part-time. And even if you're going to school part-time, this is not something that you're going to be able to speed up the process, because it's a designated program. Even if it's with your finances, you're trying to get your finances together, it's not going to be completed, or your end result, if you're trying to raise your credit score, you're trying to save some money. I feel like whatever it is, and if this is resonated with you, hit me up and we could do a reading about it. But I feel like whatever you're doing, it's not going to speed up the process to get what you want any faster. Okay, so if you're not careful, you'll end up feeling like you're just spinning your wheels. And you're gaining money, but it's not going to get you whatever you're trying. I feel like for some of you, you may be trying to save. I feel like it's strictly saving. You may not be trying to buy something, but whatever the goal that you're trying to reach, you're not going to get there any sooner, because I kind of feel like there are going to be some things in between there anyway. And this is out a little further than May. But there are going to be some things, little pit stops in there anyway, that you're going to probably have to dig into your savings to get. Okay? So you guys just take that as what it's worth. But again, realize you'll get there when you get there. And that's what the Eight of Pentacles is talking about, because it moves kind of slow. And it goes slow because it wants you to focus. You got to focus on the life that you're living right now. I feel like your focus is so much in your books, and focus is on your money so much that you're not focusing on life. All right. It's time to focus on life. It's time to focus on your family, and focus on your surroundings. Don't be so y'all, I'm losing my words, and maybe because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't 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 be so infatuated with this end goal. Stay in the present. Today's lesson. Oh, sorry. Your wisdom for healing card. Examine your personal interactions. um, it says, determine whether you're someone who is always giving to others, but who feels unnoticed or unappreciated or unappreciated. If this applies to you, it may be because you have a private agenda to seek love that's built into your motivation to be of service. Your goal: to examine whether your interactions with others leave you empowered or disempowered. That goes back to what I said about this guilt. I feel like for some of you, you feel so driven to do this, like this is what you think the outside world expects of you, and if you don't fulfill this certain role, then you're going to feel some type of guilt about it, and that's why you're pushing yourself and you're driving yourself to do so. No, that's not what this is about. Okay, don't give in to that preconceived notion that you have to completely give all of yourself to satisfy somebody else, or for someone else to appreciate you. I feel like at this point in time, they appreciate you right now. They appreciate you right now. I feel like, this page of cups, the actual page represents your surroundings, and the cup is what they want to give you. Like your world wants to give you a gift of appreciation, but you've been so busy you didn't even notice it, Aries. And even when I see this examine your personal interaction, there's another person offering a gift of appreciation. You are appreciated. You don't have to sit there and do all of this stuff to think that, once I complete this task, then I will be appreciated. You're being appreciated now. But you just have to just open your eyes, take your eyes off that book and see it. People are showing you that they appreciate you by bringing you food, to help you sustain and maintain your energy as you're doing your studying, or as you're working, or you're training. They're showing you that they appreciate you in that way, and you're thinking it has to be something bigger than that. It's the small things that count. All right? Remember that. So it's about the journey, not about the goal, babies. It's the journey. Don't miss the journey, so focus on the goal. So, and I feel like you're going to be grasping that concept a little better towards the end of the month. Once you see when the Ace of Wands, when this energy and this good ideas and creativity, that like a real creative spark starts to come in, and you figure out how you can balance your life a little better, you're going to start to let up. Because right now I think you're creating you are creating a little bit of chaotic nature around you, only because your work life and your home life is not as balanced as it should be. But I feel like that balance is coming in because you're ready to receive that balance. Okay? I feel like for a lot of you, you want to be able to free up some time, but you just don't really know how to. By the end of the month, those answers are going to be coming to you. Okay? So, thank you so much, guys, for listening. If anything in this reading resonated with you and you would like a personal reading, please hit me up. My information is below in the description box. Have a wonderful, wonderful May 2016. And continue on, my babies. Just take some time and go have some fun. All right? Everybody deserves to have a little bit of fun, even my Aries, okay? I love you guys. Thank you, and bye-bye.